Thank you for that, Syfe.
Get out of my face.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, time to talk about Chris Brown. I'm posing a question for the Realness today, and I want to ask it to the crazy Chris Brown fans, of which I know there are many. I want you to ask yourself this question. And, Syfe, we'll get to your thoughts after the Realness, because I know you feel a different way about this.
No, I want to be in the Realness.
I know, but you're going to take it to another... Okay.
No, I want to be on camera. Hey,
Okay.
show me.
You just pointed away from the camera.
That was the intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, I felt that when Chris Brown was initially arrested, it looked as if he would get jail time because of violating his probation. And I have to say, and I'm not rooting against Chris Brown, part of me said this is good news because Chris Brown does not seem to be able to pull his act together in any way. And I thought maybe if he has to do 2 years in jail, maybe there's some OG he'd meet who pull him aside and straighten him out for a couple of years, and he'd come out and be a grown-up. So the question I asked to Chris Brown fans is, are you happy that because it's been reduced to a misdemeanor assault charge, that maybe he'll avoid jail time? Or do you think, for the betterment of his person, he would have been better off going to jail? And that's not to say he could still do jail time, I suppose, but it's less likely.
What happened in D.C. has nothing to do with his probation.
What do you mean?
The charge in D.C. was reduced. That has nothing to do with his probation.
So
you
we
can still be violated.
So we don't know what they're going to charge him for with regard to violating his probation.
California's going to step in where he has probation.
So
they make the decision.
You feel that he's better off not going to jail? You think no one's improved going to jail?
No, nothing good comes from jail. I know some people turn their lives around in jail, but there's so many ways to turn your life around out of jail. And I know you tell him like he could go sit down and chill out for a little while, get sober, and get the guidance he needs. That doesn't come from jail. It could.
Yeah, I agree with Syfe.
It could come from jail, and it has to some people. But I don't wish anybody to go to jail. Nothing good comes from jail.
I certainly never would wish anyone to go to jail. However, I did see there's an upside to it because I don't see Chris Brown as the kind of guy so far who seems able to be talked to while he's rich and out on his own doing whatever he wants. Chris Brown fans, what do you think?
Wake up, New York.
Yo, wake up, New York. The Hot 97 Morning Show.
And here will be the response from Chris Brown fans. I think Team Breezy, you're the best. That guy shouldn't have jumped in his picture. He's Chris Brown. So hopefully we'll get a more intelligent response than that.
Is that how his fans sound?
Honestly, when I read the tweets from Chris Brown's fans, that's the voice that it sounds like. Breezy!
Oh, that's screechy.
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?